everyone, and welcome back to day 9 of Cori Rae Fitmas. I can't believe it's already day 9. I don't know about y'all, but it's been really flying by. We're already almost to Christmas. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching all the way up until now, and if this is the first video you're seeing in this series, definitely go check out my first 8 videos, especially the first one because I'm doing a giveaway and you guys need to enter it because I kind of wish that I was winning this giveaway because some of the stuff is really cool. Yeah. These are some of my favorite videos to watch on YouTube because they're just so personal and you really get to know whoever it is that you're watching a little bit more. And that is a Q&A. So yes, I'm doing a little Q&A for you guys. I asked some of you guys to ask me some questions. I asked on my Instagram stories and also on one of my YouTube videos. So I'm just going to be answering questions that were on there. And also I think I have some on my TikTok as well. So if you aren't following me on Instagram or TikTok, definitely go do that right now. Links are down below. I just thought this was an easier way to answer all of your guys' questions that you ask me on Instagram and my TikTok and on my YouTube. And before we get into today's video, please don't forget to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers here on our channel, which is like, what? That is so exciting. So definitely, if you aren't subscribed already, please subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you can be updated when I post my last few videos of Cori Rae Fitmas. And you definitely don't want to miss out on the last video because that's when I will be announcing the giveaway. So without any further ado, let us hop into today's video. Alright, so question number 1 is from Instagram and her username is LA Nancy. She asked, what is your favorite Starbucks drink? That's a great question. I kind of switch back and forth a lot. So I used to get a iced coconut milk latte, but that's when I went like almost every day and I was trying to, you know, get the drinks that were lower in sugar and not going to make me gain 700 pounds from drinking it every day because some of them are pretty high in calories. So I would get a venti iced coconut milk latte and sometimes I would get sugar-free vanilla, but honestly the coconut milk itself makes it nice and sweet and gives it a good flavor. But now I have limited myself to 1 a week, so now I will I'll splurge a little bit, you know, get some of the drinks that aren't quite as healthy for me and have like kind of a little bit higher in sugar. So I get now, when I go once a week, my weekly adventures. Recently I've been getting a venti vanilla sweet cream cold brew with the cold foam on top as well, so it has like both of them, but I get it made with almond milk because, you know, I try not to have as much dairy as possible. And let me tell you guys, it is so good. It is a little bit higher in sugar because they use like the vanilla syrups and stuff in there, but it's worth it because it's so good. Next question is from my friend Macy. She asked me this on Instagram. She said, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So I probably will see myself either still traveling around with Jack. That is one of our goals together, is to travel as many places as we can. Maybe live in a couple different places in the world for a little bit. Just because we want to experience the world, see what we like, see what kind of place we want to live in before we settle down and buy a house. Career-wise, I see myself working for myself. That's just something that I personally am working towards right now. I personally am not someone who can do a 9-to-5 job for the rest of my life. I know some of you guys can, and you love it and you thrive in that. I just am not that kind of person. I like to kind of be in charge of myself. I like to have my own schedule. I love to be at home whenever I can. I love to do my work at home. That is one of my goals for myself. I kind of want to do YouTube full-time and the social media stuff full-time because I am super creative and I just love doing this stuff so much. So I see myself doing that in 5 years. So catch me in 5 years. So yeah, definitely working for myself. Number 2, just having freedom to do what I want. Yeah, the main thing I'm really focusing on right now is my career and YouTube and stuff. So that so in 5 years, I want that to be my full-time income. I want that to be what my job is. Hopefully in 5 years, I am like way past that, but you know, that's just kind of my goal right now. And yeah, just traveling the world with Jack. We talk about that a lot. That is something that we are working on towards together. So yeah. Alright, and next up, Skylar Mao asked, do you track calories? If so, what is the best way to do it? This is a great question. When I first started my health and fitness journey, or like taking it more seriously, I did, and I felt like that's what you had to do almost, if that makes sense. It just seems like what everybody else was doing at the time on social media. So I did at first, and I honestly think it was helpful in the beginning, just so I could kind of get an understanding on calories and macros and micronutrients and all of that stuff, if that makes sense, and kind of like how much I needed to eat to feel full. However, I got a little obsessive with it, and I like the number aspect of it kind of messed with my head, and I'm also not very good at math, like at all. And so I would like get really frustrated if I didn't hit my numbers spot on. So yeah, I got a little obsessive with it. It became a little bit unhealthy. I would be really hard on myself if I went over my calories, and if I was under my calories, I would get kind of frustrated as well that I didn't hit my numbers perfectly. So I kind of took it in a more unhealthy approach. So I kind of just stopped doing that altogether. I just don't really agree with diet culture for me personally. I know for some people it works and it is something that is maintainable for them, but for me personally, and I know for a lot of people, it can kind of mess with your head, and it just isn't something that I could do long term. So I don't count calories anymore. I don't follow any sort of diet. I just eat intuitively. I eat when I'm hungry, I stop when I'm full, and I eat things whenever I'm craving them. Obviously, 90% of my diet is healthy and full of foods that are good for me and make me feel good. And that's something that I've kind of learned along the way as well, is that I just feel so much better. My body is fueled. I have so much more energy. I sleep better. I'm a nicer person whenever I eat healthy and eat foods that make me feel good. But on the other hand, I also just, whenever I'm like craving a donut or pizza or something, I will eat it and then I'll be done with it. I believe that everything is a balance, and everything is done better if it's in a balance. So that's kind of my motto in life. But if you are wanting to start, and you're just starting your fitness journey, and you just kind of want to start tracking calories, definitely go into it thinking like, okay, I'm going to learn from this. This isn't something that I'm going to do forever. It's just something that will help me kind of get an understanding for food and nutrition and what a macro is and that kind of stuff. Also, like kind of trying to figure out how much you need to eat to feel full and satisfied. And what I used was my Fitness Pal. You can get a free version of it, or you can do the premium. I had the premium version for a while because it goes into more detail. Yeah, if you're just starting out, that's my advice for you. Don't do it for long term unless you have like a very specific goal that you're trying to reach. Then after that, maybe stop using it because it does kind of play tricks with your mind. And someone also asked on my Instagram, Austin Blue Nelden, but she said, SOS, I need your healthy Twix bar from TikTok. If you aren't following me on TikTok now, definitely go follow me because I have been super active on there, and I've been posting tons and tons of recipes and what I eat in a day videos. And I recently just posted my healthy Twix bar recipe. It is so good, and it also is gluten and dairy free, and it's minimal ingredients that you probably already have in your pantry right now. I have the hiccups. Alright, next up, Jessica asked on YouTube, love the Christmas vibes. Thanks, girl. I'm all about a good diffuser. What are your 2021 fitness goals? Great question. I actually was just thinking about this. I have come to the point in my life, I'm not just working out to look a certain way. So I used to kind of want to only work out for aesthetic purposes and just to look a certain way and to be skinny. But then I kind of came to the realization not too long ago actually, that the main reason why I love to go to the gym and exercise is because it just makes me feel so good. And in the past, I would make myself go to the gym every single day. Sometimes I wouldn't even take a rest day, and I was like super adamant about going every day, never taking a rest day. This wasn't good for my body in general. Rest days are just important as the days that you go to the gym. So yeah, back when I first started, I was just like constantly going to the gym, never taking a rest day. I was tired all the time, obviously, because I wasn't giving myself a rest day, or I would like sleep in really late, and then I was just on a really bad schedule, and my whole day kind of revolved around going to the gym and looking at my workouts and making sure that I was ready for the next day. And over time, over the past couple years, it kind of has evolved, and I've grown, and I've learned that that doesn't work. First of all, it doesn't work for your social life. Second of all, it doesn't work for like working and sleep and eating and making sure you're just a good person and like well-rounded individual. I kind of go and have a workout routine just because it makes me feel good. I don't go if I don't feel like it. Most of the time, as you guys have probably seen on my social medias, I've been going in the morning, like early in the morning. I like wake up at like 5:45 so that I can go to the gym and work out. And that's because it just puts me in such a good headspace. And it sets my day up to be a good one. And it just helps my mood more than I can even explain. Waking up early before everybody else is awake in my apartment building, it seems like, I'm up and I'm going to the gym because that is that time that I'm giving to myself. Not for anybody else, just me. So that long-winded explanation is just me really saying that my fitness goals is going to be the same as it is now. I don't really have like certain fitness goals per se. It's just that I want to be more consistent with going in the morning before work, or just going whenever I need to, and going and doing things that actually make me feel good and things that I want to do. Sometimes I'll like have planned in my head kind of that I'm going to go to the gym and do a weightlifting session because I haven't done one in a while. But then I'll get there the next morning and be like, I really don't want to lift weights. Old me would have been like, nope, you got to push yourself. You're doing weights today. That's what was the schedule. That was what was scheduled. That's what we're doing today. But, you know, grown and evolved Cori has realized, okay, there's a reason for that. My body is not up to doing that today. So maybe I'll just do a Peloton ride, or I will do yoga, or I'll go for a walk. So I'm just kind of just showing my body more love and appreciation and doing things that make me feel good and will set me up for success later on in the day. All right, and next question is from actually one of my good friends from college, Lauren. She commented, she said, when is Jack going to put a ring on it? LOL, but serious question, what keeps you motivated to work out and have a healthy routine? How did you get in the habit and actually start the routine? All right, so answering the first part of that, I don't know. We're kind of just waiting to, you know, kind of get on our feet a little bit more with our careers and just kind of be more financially stable in that aspect. We have talked about it a lot. We do want to get married one day, but right now we just aren't in that place. We do live together. We are committed to each other. We have talked about that stuff for a while. I do believe that Jack is my person and he's the one that I want to do my life with, but we just aren't worried about that right now. Yeah, so we're just waiting to be a little bit more financially stable, you know. And then the second part of that question, what keeps you motivated to work out and have a healthy routine? That kind of goes with what I said earlier. It just makes me feel really good, and that's what makes me feel motivated, is just knowing how I will feel after I work out. And how I actually got into the habit of working out and having a good routine in place is I first started by writing it down. I know that sounds like, well, duh, like that's what people do in their calendars, but I actually didn't do that for a really long time. I would just kind of like think in my head, like, okay, this is my schedule for the day. But everything in there is just so jumbled up, you're going to forget something. So definitely write out whatever it is that you need to accomplish that day and write it out for that week. So I have like a planner that, you know, like lays out Monday through Sunday on it, and I'll write out my schedule every single night the night before, and that really helps me stay on track. And then I'll like check it off whenever I complete a task. And what I do to kind of find these habits that I want to integrate is I will read self-help books, and I also will watch or listen to people that I look up to and kind of see what they do. Steal ideas from there of things that I want to implement into my routine to make me a better person and kind of change my habits. And something that me and Jack both do like every so often is kind of look at the bad habits that we have. So we'll write like 2 columns. We'll write down what our bad habits are, and in the other column we'll write what we'll do to kind of break those bad habits. So let's say, for example, one of them for me was waking up 10 minutes before I had to leave for work. And that just put me in such a bad schedule, and it made me so lazy throughout the day. And then next to it, I wrote that I needed to put my phone across the room with the alarm on. I needed to set like 5 alarms until I woke up. And I need to lay out my workout clothes so that I am ready to go. I need to plan out everything I'm going to do the next morning, just so whenever I am in bed, I don't have to think about it, and it just kind of helps me get out of bed. Alright, and last but not least, Alexis Cummins asked, how did you train to become a NFL pro cheerleader? This could be a really long video for another day, but I kind of have made a video about this earlier. If you guys want to go check it out, it is linked up here in the cards, so definitely go check out that. It's kind of like my top tips for NFL cheer auditions. But now I'll briefly go over how I kind of trained. This, I won't be super in depth because this could be a very long video if I did. If you guys want to know more and want me to go in more detail, I will make a video about that, about how I trained to become an NFL cheerleader. So definitely comment below if that's something you guys are interested in. So what I did is I started to prepare myself like in November, and auditions were that following April. So I had plenty of time. I didn't feel like I was rushing or anything. And that's kind of when I started the planning process. I looked into audition outfits, where to get audition outfits, and I started asking some people I knew who were on the team questions that I had, like where to find stuff for auditions. So I definitely recommend reaching out to anybody that you know. And I was still in college whenever I was about to try out for NFL cheer, so it was still my fall semester. So I signed up for my spring semester. I signed up for some extra dance classes just so I could, you know, kind of stay up to date on my technique and just stay moving and, you know, stretching and all that stuff. If you guys aren't in college, then definitely look around at local studios that have some like technique classes or choreography classes that you can join. And then I worked out more often, so I worked out probably 5 or 6 times a week just so I could get in shape. Within those days, I just increased how much cardio I did. So I think I ran about a mile every day that I worked out, and then I did some sort of strength training and abs, and I did that almost every day. I did take a rest day, but I did that about 5 to 6 times a day just because I wanted to get my stamina up, just so I was feeling confident and ready for auditions. And I did that every day for however many months that led up to it. And I kind of cut back on, you know, going out and how many sweets that I ate just so I could focus. I just was making sure that I was, you know, eating enough and fueling my body with food that made me feel good. And I also practiced my technique every single night with my hair down. Oh, I also went on the team that I tried out for. I went on their social media and learned a few of their dances that I found just so I could get a feel for their style. I went on every website that I possibly could find with information for the team I was trying out for and learned as much as I could, and I took notes just so that I knew what I was getting into. I did my research because it was kind of like a job interview. Well, it was a job interview because it is my job now. I just learned as much as I could. I already knew a lot about the organization already because I have been a fan of the Panthers for a while, so I kind of knew like the basic stuff about the players, the team, the owner, the coaching staff, and all of that stuff already, but I just wanted to learn even more. So I did a ton of research. I made flashcards. I studied everything that I learned just so I knew what I was getting myself into. And I guess the word that I could use to describe how I went about it is that I made a lot of sacrifice and I was very dedicated to what I was doing. Whenever I set my mind to something, I am like 100% in. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not backing out. This is what I'm doing. And I'm going to do everything that I can to be the best that I can be at whatever it is I'm trying. Alright, so that does bring us to the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You learned a little bit more about me, and I hope to do more of these in the future. So thank you guys again so much for watching today's video. I love you so much. Go outside and do something that makes you happy today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!